up guys, this is Carlos. Welcome to my channel, Los Car 50. Today we have the honor and pleasure of being with Eduardo, checking out his beautiful collection of Cobras, as well as a very clean Z06 C6 that he has. So with no further ado guys, let's hop into it. Eduardo, if you don't mind telling us, what's your IG?
My name is Eduardo. My IG is SVT_racing number 5. SVT_racing 5. Yeah, this is my collection I've collected over the last 2 years. My business took off after the bad weather and I haven't looked back since.
So we have a total of 5 Cobras, right? 5 Cobras or?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Cobras. 6
Cobras. Man, that's amazing. And in addition, the newest addition was the 09 Z06, which we're about to check out here a little bit. All right, as we all know, Cobras are pretty hard to find and you gotta sometimes travel. And this is what this man has done. So if you don't mind telling us.
Yeah, 04, got it from Oklahoma. It was a dealership, 34,000 miles.
Okay.
This one's an 03. I got it in Alabama, right by Birmingham, from a firefighter. About 43,000 miles. And then the Mystichrome, got it from a border patrol agent in Laredo. It's a 04. It's got 46,000 miles. And then the silver, I want to say it's not satin silver, it's the other silver. Metallic?
Silver metallic?
Yeah, it's a 03. I got it from Austin, from some random dude. He's the one that did all the work at. He took it to HPP. It's
cool.
It's got 57,000 miles. And then the Coyote swap, I bought that roller from Minnesota, and it's an 04. And the engine, I bought it from a guy in Dallas who was parting out his 2016 GT.
Oh, nice.
The yellow one is a 03. It's got 44,000 miles on it. And I got that from Dallas. Z06, got it from Oklahoma. It's got 59,000 miles.
Yeah, if you want to just give me a rundown of
It's got the
parts.
intake upgrade, it's got the headers, it's got heads, and then it's got the Corsa exhaust. So that's pretty much it.
Okay.
The guy sold it to me said it's close to 600.
To the wheel, yeah. These are, I think they're really impressive. Yeah. You know, naturally aspirated, making that kind of power. That's these rev pretty high, don't they? These LS7s.
Yeah, they do. I want to upgrade the Pro Charger, but I've heard the engine doesn't handle boost too well.
Oh, okay.
These engines, right? The LS7.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've been in one like this, and that thing felt so different, man. Like it hooks and it goes. You know, like it's just so light.
And the sound it makes.
Yeah.
It's got an X pipe, headers, Borla. I think it's the what exhaust is it? It's the same one you have. What do you have?
Oh, the Stingers, the S type.
Stinger, yeah.
Okay. And you got a return style fuel system too on this? Is this on E85 or 93?
It's 93.
93.
Yeah.
Nice.
So 93, 2.2 Kenny-Belt. Screen's really loud. It's probably, if I had to guess, about 600 horsepower.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty solid.
Look, so we got a 2.3 whip on this, 80-pound injectors. Was a return style fuel system. It also has the Borla, which I like Borlas.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
What pulleys? You got a, what's that? Is it 275?
275, yeah.
And stock lower?
Yep, it was tuned by Jonathan. He said it made about 21 pounds of boost.
Wow. Okay. So that's
this
probably.
this is the fastest one that I haven't driven those two like on the highway, but this is the fastest one out of all these.
This is easily like over 650 probably.
Yeah, easily, yeah.
Yeah, this one has the 2.3 Whipple, right?
Oh?
The 2.3 Whipple on this one?
It's got that 3-inch pulley. This one probably has the most suspension upgrades. suspension, 2.3 Whipple, same fuel system as the Mystichrome. Same injectors, 80-pound injectors, you can see.
Oh yeah.
What else does it have? Just the interior is a 10th anniversary interior.
All right, so 10th anniversary 03 Cobra coupe. So went up 365.
What's the number on these?
Oh, okay.
I just found them somewhere there. The ones that were on there were all crappy, and then the pipes were all like rusting up, so they replaced them.
Oh, that looks clean. Yeah.
Fully built, man.
So this pretty much has anything and everything you want to have for a Terminator. 2.9 Whipple crusher, and this one made like what? Almost
20.
Yeah, 920 to the wheel.
It's got T56 Magnum. Oh, man, it's fast.
Yeah.
Marco took me for a drive, and it was just insane.
But it's scary.
It's scary. It is. I don't like riding passengers. It's scary.
Yeah, it's even worse.
You don't have
Passenger
any
side.
control.
Exactly. Wow.
That's cool. Let me start it up. Top lower, 276 pulley and exhaust. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's stock.
So pretty much, for the most part, a stock car.
Yeah.
And
I know that pulley's pretty powerful, man. The pulls are pretty good. It's about 450, 460.
okay. And what year model is this?
This is a 2004.
04.
Yeah.
Okay. 04 black convertible.
Black interior too.
Yeah, exactly, because of the wheels.
I like them. I don't know why. Coming with a 2016 Gen 2 Coyote with the Roush blower. It's got the BBK long tube headers, T56 Magnum. It has a solid rear end, and I think that's what it was as a roller. It was just this track car. Like he just replaced oil pump or something. He put some gears.
Oh, yeah, oil pump and crank sprockets.
Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did that. We had to replace the injectors. They were too small, which is weird because it was working on the GT, and then on this one, the tune was off, jacked up.
This right here is probably one of the highlights of the video. It's something you don't really see normally, but I think it's the best of both worlds. Many of y'all know that I came from a S550 5.0, so I think it has the best of both worlds because you have the new Edge Cobra 0304 body, but yet you got the heart of a Coyote in it. Real similar to like a Terminator engine, right? Just a bigger displacement and it's a little different but similar in many ways. right, guys, so we're in this beautiful black convertible Terminator. I've never been in a stock one, and this is about as stock as you can get. And so far, after the first couple of minutes driving it, it feels really, really smooth. Nothing like my 03 10th anniversary. This car is just the opposite. It's quiet, real smooth. When you go over bumps, it's smooth. So far, I'm loving it. I will say the clutch is very, very stiff compared to my clutch. I have a spec clutch in my car. But either way, it feels pretty good. It's like a nice feedback, having that stiff clutch. If you can hear another Terminator out there, it's because I'm following the Mystichrome as we film this video. But this is beautiful, man. Like top down, sunny day, feeling that wind. A Terminator, it's real hard to beat that. So after driving this car, I can really understand why people sometimes don't want to modify these cars too much, because you're really taking that authentic feeling away. Now that I'm driving this car, I wouldn't have minded leaving, like if I would have bought a stock car, I wouldn't have minded just keeping it almost stock, just for the fact of it's such a nice, like pleasurable drive. It's really comfortable, really smooth. And I don't know, it just, you get like a lot of, it feels like a new car, in other words. I mean, and I forgot to say, this car does have 35,000 miles. All right, so let's do a little quick 60 mile an hour pull, or a little 60 mile an hour dig real quick, see how she feels. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Alrighty, we're in the 04 Mystichrome. Start her up. Let's go. Okay, this clutch is way more difficult to ride on. Right off the bat, sounds just like my car. We got borderless stingers on this car. This is pretty much one of my dream Cobras right here, guys. 04 Mystichrome Coupe. It only has 49,000 miles on the clock. Such a beautiful car. And this car is really similar mods wise to my car in a way. So we got a 2.3 whip on this car. 4 Innovations fuel system. This car right now is on E85. And power wise, I think we're making close to 700 to the wheel. So plenty of power. It's got a lot of power in this car. And I believe Eduardo told me that this car is on a stock clutch. So this car is packing quite a lot of power for a stock clutch. But we'll give it a little shot. Woo! Yes, sir. That E85 hits different. No doubt about that. Man, you just can't get over that Terminator sound. One of the best sounds in the world. So far, I can say this car feels a lot like my car. It sounds a lot like it. I mean, this is what the Terminator experience is, you know. Beautiful, fun, fast, eye-catching car, you know. We'll do here a little 60 mile an hour pull. All right, let's get into third gear. Woo! Yeah. I hope you can hear that whine. Plenty of power. I don't see why you would need anything more than this. It's very, very fun. It can get a little scary if you need it to be scary. I mean, depends on what your like is, but man, beautiful car. You just gotta love the paint on this thing. The color shifting between the blue, purple, and green, even a little bit of a copper in there. It goes a long way. It's something that it's just a legendary car. And for those that keep up with the prices online, I mean, these cars go for crazy amounts of money. It's ridiculous, you know, but it's very well worth the money. To begin with, a Terminator Cobra is a limited production number vehicle, and on top of that you have one that was produced in a special edition, the Mystichrome, and you just don't see these cars a lot, right? People are paying north of $30, $40, $50, $60,000 for these cars, so it's definitely a pleasure to be able to drive one of these for sure. Okay, so we made it to the Z, and I don't know why, but I got a feeling that I'm gonna be converted after driving this car. Here goes the beast. Woo! Yeah, all right. Oh man, I don't know if you can pick that up, but this car is shaking. Man, it sounds good. Woo! So this is what it's about. First thoughts. I don't know if you can hear that, but man, I'm in love, guys. This LS chop ain't no joke. All right, let's go. Yes, sir. This car feels really refined. The clutch, feather smooth. It catches on so well. Obviously the exhaust. From the outside, it sounds crazy, like stupid loud, but inside the car, it's really quiet. Like, it's really enjoyable, quite honestly. And transmission, it feels really, really buttery smooth. Once again, big shout out to Eduardo. Make sure to go check out his Instagram. I'm gonna post it down here right now again. Really, really cool guy, down to earth, really humble, you know, really cool guy, let me be able to drive his cars. I really appreciate that, man. So thank you once again. I would have never imagined myself driving a Vet, a C6, Z06. Honestly, never would have had imagined it. I've always loved these cars. It looks so slick. It looks so good. It sounds so good. And this LS7 is no joke. And I mean, I've always heard about it. Now I get to actually experience it. Look at that. Camera's even shaking from the chop. Woo! Just enjoy that, guys. Appreciate that sound. America, baby. Oh my goodness. Woo! This thing is so light. It just hooks and goes. It just hooks and goes. It don't play around. No, sir. Again, I just can't stress enough how nice this transmission is. I mean, you just put it in gear and you go. You know, it's just so smooth. And I know the clutch has a lot to do with it, but man, it makes for a really great driving experience for sure. And then inside, I got the windows rolled up. Super quiet. This car has full exhaust, cams, heads. I mean, it's got the whole 9 yards. You know, what everybody does to these cars when they get them, for these LS engines. The mods that are really popular with these cars. And this car responds. I mean, we're talking about maybe 600 horsepower to the wheel, naturally aspirated. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, my Cobra with the supercharger 2.3 Whipple is making 640 to the wheel with the supercharger. So this 7-liter engine is no joke. I just can't get over that chop. Man, I can do this every day, bro. Every day. I love the sound. Let's do a little quick pull again. Oh man, it just feels so light. I just can't get over that, man. That's so addicting. So freaking addicting. You know, and I don't know what it is about these cars, but man, the engine feels so smooth. Either cruising, wide open throttle, it doesn't matter. The engine just feels very, very smooth. It provides for a really nice driving experience. Unlike, as much as I love Terminators and mod motors, you know, We got 4 cams and the 4-valve engines, so I'm guessing, you know, we got more rotating parts, which equivalates to more vibrations, more noise and whatnot. But in this LS being a push rod engine, you know, simple old school, really simple design of a motor. Maybe it has to do with it, I'm not sure, but it's definitely very, very enjoyable. So my conclusion with this Z06 is I can definitely see why a lot of people go from a Terminator to one of these cars. I mean, even if you're a die-hard Ford guy, it's just so hard to beat. Just the drivability and the power that you can get out of these cars. I mean, it's something really to be respected about these cars. But man, was it fun to drive this car. So much fun. But you know, like, I'm following Eduardo. He's in the Torch Red Cobra right now. Even though me being in a Z06 and having this much fun in this car, just looking at that car, just rolling around, cruising around, hearing that 4-valve, it's so hard to not like a Terminator, man. Like, those are just, you know, they have a soft spot in my heart, and that's why I own one, man, because my dream car. But nonetheless, it'd be so cool to own one of these Z06s one day too. Alright guys, so we made it to the 10th anniversary Torch Red Coupe. Identical to my car. This car feels like home. I mean, it's just like it. Real similar setup, 2.3 Whipple, full exhaust. With the exception that this car has a 4 Innovations return style fuel system. And yes, this car is running on corn, E85 baby. 10th anniversary Cobra, Torch Red. This is by far my favorite edition Cobra, just because, not because I have one, but because when I wanted my dream Cobra, it had to be Torch Red and a coupe. So this car has the Torch Red seat inserts, are actually called Colorado Red, along with some trim panels that are Colorado Red. It adds some really nice touch to the interior of this car. So for these, for those that don't know, these are the 10th anniversary, as the 10th anniversary hit in 2003 because SVT started up in 93 with the hatchback SVT Cobras, Fox bodies. Well, 2003 was the 10th anniversary for SVT, and for this year model, they made 2003 10th anniversary Cobras. Pretty cool, right? For 2003 models for the year 2003. And those were made Torch Red, black, and silver coupes and convertibles. So what I'm in is one of 365, just like what I have. So pretty special car, honestly. My first impressions of driving this car, like I said, it feels a lot like my car. It sounds a lot like it. Feels a lot like it. It's just the clutch. The clutch is a little more stiff. I'm probably talking a lot about clutches, but you know, it's just my feedback from what I'm driving, right? So we got 45,000 miles on this bad boy right here. Again, another low mileage Cobra. You know, Eduardo ain't playing around when it comes to his collection. Beautiful rides, low mileage, well taken care of. I mean, these are just iconic, legendary cars. Beautiful sounds, man. Freaking beautiful. As good as that Corvette sounded, Terminators is just hard to beat. Drop it in a second. Jeez, bro. Can't go too fast, but all right, we're gonna give it a little wide open throttle real quick. Oh man, this thing just pulls. You just can't go wrong with a supercharged car, man. This car just has that nice down low punch, that torque. Never fails to put a smile on your face. I'll just put it that way. Just hear that. Oh man. Long tubes and Borlas on Terminators, you can't go wrong with it. Nope, can't go wrong with it. Probably one of the best exhaust systems there is. I'm not saying it because my car has that, but because it just sounds so good It's got the iconic sound to it. Golly. This car just makes your heart pump, honestly. Terminators in general do, man. I don't know. Gotta love it. Just gotta love it. All right, so we made it on our way to the zinc yellow Terminator, the one that basically has anything and everything you can do to it. Beast of a car. Let's go turn it on. Here's some of that chop chop. Yes, sir. Who said 4 valves can't chop? Wow, this car sounds so good. And I'm not trying to rev it on purpose like crazy, but I'm just trying to get used to that clutch. This clutch releases way up there, but it feels so good. Woo! This car's loud. Full exhaust, and I know for a fact this car has Borla attack catback. Yes, but it sounds so good with those cams. This car, we're not gonna go too wild because first of all, it's almost pushing 1,000 horsepower to the wheels, and secondly, it's on skinnies with slicks on the back. And but more than anything, we're just trying to get that good experience of driving the Cam, the Cobra, with pretty much 1,000 horsepower to the wheels, which is an honor for me to be able to drive this car. You know, besides getting used to the clutch and the cams, I mean, it's not that bad to drive. You know, I've always heard bad experiences about people who do cams to their cars, about how horrible the drivability becomes and whatnot. But honestly, this car drives really smooth. I mean, you would probably never tell that it had 1,000 horsepower just by cruising around. And by the way, so this car has the famous stage 3 comp cams that people always talk about. Part number like 104, 600, something like that, something close to that. And these are known to chop the loudest out of a lot of other cams out there, except if you go with a custom grind. But these are like probably one of the best chopping cams off the shelf that you can get for these cars. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the window down a little bit, kind of get more sound out of it, and just go for a nice little cruise. Yes, sir. All right, kind of ease into it, get used to it a little bit. And this car does have some upgraded brakes too. I believe it has some 6-piston Bear brakes up front, along with some drilled and slotted rotors, so it stops pretty good. I mean, you gotta have that stopping power for such a, you know, amount of power you're packing under this car. It broke the tires loose like nothing. Yeah, we gotta be careful with this ride. Golly. That was not even over like 4,000 RPM. So impressive. Man, it breaks loose easy, man. Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. You know what really impresses me about this car is the fact that it's packing so much power and it drives decently good. I mean, you would have never thought, just by picking it up and driving it, well, besides the cams and how loud it is, that it had 1,000 horsepower to the wheels. So I'm really impressed by that. But man, it's honestly an honor to be driving this car as well. You know, from one of the guys in our Terminator Cobra group, they nicknamed this car the Bananinator. I mean, honestly, I think it's a cool name. It's got that unique zinc yellow color to it, and well, it's a Terminator, right? So it goes pretty good with it. All right, let's go a little small pull here. All right, let's do it. Sheesh. Yeah, this one packs a punch right here. I love it. This beast that we're in basically has anything and everything. Fully built block, forged everything, return style fuel system, corn, you know, E85, right? Full exhaust, 2.9 Gen 4 Whipple, cams, skinnies, fats in the back, upgraded brakes. I mean, you name it, you got it. I believe it has maybe a T56 transmission. I'm not quite sure, but I think it does. Upgraded clutch as well. Very, very light, featherweight, smooth. Like, it feels almost like the one in the Z06 that I drove. So I really like that. In fact, I'm gonna get that part number or the part that they use for this car, because that's something I want to put on my car. Let's give it a couple little revs. Whoa. 4-valve, chopping for days too. I'm pretty sure the camera's picking this up, but the car is shaking a little bit. That's so cool, man. You got pretty much a modern age Mustang vehicle with the nice chop of an old school muscle car, you know? Man, it's been a pleasure driving these cars, you know, starting off with the stock black convertible that pretty much just had a 276 upper pulley and a MagnaFlow catback exhaust system, and working my way through the Mystichrome, the Torch Red, driving the Z06, and onto this beast of a zinc yellow Terminator. It's been a great pleasure, great honor to do this, and once again, big shout out and thank you to Eduardo for letting me do this. Again, go check out his Instagram, give him a follow. He's got one of the cleanest shops, in my opinion, one of the best collections you can ask for, you could ever see, and I'm very fortunate enough to be able to be a part of it and experience these cars that he has.